the bells. I don't know if you heard that, but this is the little recording that the local Catholic Church play every so often, and then they have something at Christmas where we're meant to believe that little elves are ringing the bells in the chapel and stuff like that, and Smurfs or whatever are singing Christmas carols, and you go up there and it's just like a empty building. There's probably priests around the back doing whatever they do. Guess what that is. But yeah, this video is just going to be me speaking about the influence that UFOs and aliens and all the TV programs have had on society, whether positive or negative. There seems to be a group of people, I wouldn't say they're in the majority, I wouldn't say they're necessarily Christian or atheist or whatever, but they think there's an agenda to push the alien agenda, you know, that somehow people are there to push that idea that there's aliens, when in fact there's none, right? It's just a made up thing that they want to push on people in order to use it like, I suppose, Islam, or use it like anything else, in order to put fear on people and take away freedoms from people. So I think it's just another agenda that the Illuminati have. Even though Islam is real, even though jihad is real, that there are real militant Muslims, I understand that it's pushed even in a lot of nations, and that part of it you can see, yes, it's being, certain things are being promoted. But when you look at all the TV programs about aliens, you find that very few of them are evil or militant. Most of them are just trying to get along with humans and just trying to work things out, and just you know, they're friends and all that stuff. Which is that reality? I wonder. S4 bases, we know about the Area 51. There's all hundreds of bases on the Earth with regards to this. And so if these bases are real, and there really is creatures living within these bases, working in friendly terms with the militaries and so on, wouldn't you think that the Bible would say something about it? Wouldn't you think that God would want us as Christians to actually understand and know something about it? So that is the obvious question that I'm posing just now. Whatever the agenda is, good or bad, don't you think God would want us to understand about this, that it is going on, and the fact that obviously the media or the movie industry want to make it look as if it's fiction, want to make it look as if it's just all made up, want to make it look as if somebody just sat down and they're using psychology and different things to influence society, and that's what they've been doing. But then, does that mean that the aliens aren't real? That they're a figment of our imagination? Seems to have been that way for thousands of years, because these beings have been written about, made drawings about in caves, going through various names like the Anunnaki, like the reptilians, like the Dracos, the lizards men, probably the Dracos again, and then you get the Mothmen, you get things that are flying, you get like the Yeti, these type of very hairy beasts, like you would see all of them, or most of them, you would see in a movie like Star Wars, and you would look at that and think, well, that's just fiction, these people have made that up. And yet there's drawings of such beings, like you have one of the commanders. Commander, it's not Jicka, I forget the one in Star Wars, but he's got the big eyes. I mean, apparently there's people out there that claim to have seen beings like that, and even been abducted by beings that look like that. And so I see a pattern in the fact that the same people who think that, for example, Masons or whoever it may be are making this up in order just to scare humanity into some political agenda that they got. The same people will believe in flat earth hands down without any real evidence of the flat earth. Some of the biggest evidences you got to say is the Dome project, which I'll just talk about. Now, this project, discussed by flat earthers such as Rob Skiba, who is his own flat earth model, speak about nuclear bombs, hydrogen bombs being let off in the atmosphere, and you can see them. The camera zooms in and you can see they're probably several thousand feet up in the atmosphere, and yet we see planes go far higher up in the atmosphere, several thousand feet higher in the atmosphere, which proves that whatever these nuclear bombs were doing, they wouldn't be trying to explode the dome. Now, the other thing you got to realise is Project Iron Dome in Israel, where this dome is actually caused by a technology which protects parts of Israel from attacks from Gaza or from the east or the north or wherever they're coming from. It's a protection around what is biblically known as Judea. And basically there's a number of weapons that form this dome, and there's also various videos now which they're producing technology such as we have on Star Trek, such as plasma shields or plasma domes, which can help protect whole entire cities, which I believe they got that technology from a part of Russia where they found massive type weapons, underground weapons just under the soil, and these people found all of these this old world technology, probably going back before the flood, which I believe human beings made in order to defend themselves against such as fallen angels or Nephilim, and these beings are one and the same as what we are seeing on TV and motion pictures today in Star Wars and Star Trek and such. These are the Nephilim, and some of them are powerful enough to be fallen angels that they don't need any technology to assist them in their travel around the universe, that they have mastered the art of going in and out of dimensions, and that they can appear, disappear in different time periods and all that kind of stuff. They are truly angels, but their nature is fallen. And many people think that Satan and these fallen angels are in hell, and there couldn't be a bigger lie than that. You know, the biggest lie is that Satan tries to get humanity to believe he doesn't exist. The next biggest lie is that he tries to get Christians to believe that he is in hell, or he's from hell somehow, and he's this horned little devil with a pitchfork, which I'm sure there'll be demons that look like that. But Lucifer and the fallen angels are something quite different, and they can transform themselves into angels of light, transform themselves into any object that they want. Some have speculated that the planes of 9/11 were in fact fallen angels. Some have speculated that there's some type of a space weapon fired down on 9/11, or it could have been some kind of a nuclear blast within the building itself. We'll never find that out unless there's a proper investigation into that. You know, sad to say that YouTubers, you know, such as Charlie Veach and many other like him, in the sort of truther movement, maybe a bit lesser so here in the UK, but nonetheless, you know, people know there's something wrong with that event. It's not been properly investigated, and there's a lot of things which are not right about that whole thing. But and yet, you know, Charlie has decided to accept that it was a terrorist attack. The question is, by who? Some say that it was by Muslims, some say that it was the Israelis who planned it all through Silverstein, who owned the complex at the time. The truth is, whoever it was, were very organised. They got quite a lot of money out of the event, but they were also able to start a war through that event. You know, we can definitely, I'll leave the link of the video about the guy who really spoke about the plans of this group. You might call the Illuminati, and they actually planned this, and they're planning other things as well right in front of us. They're using their playing cards. Everything is sort of pre-written for them, and yes, it's prophesied in the Bible as well. The question is, my friends, what should we do? You know, what should we do about this? I believe that we should stand firm in the truth, in the fact that yes, we should shine light on these issues and on these matters, because things are just going to get worse otherwise. You know, they're not going to get any better anytime soon if we don't stand up. Which kind of sharply brings me on to the whole philosophy of the pre-tribulation rapturists. A lot of these people take themselves out of the fight, or take themselves out of standing up for truth by simply saying, oh, when the tribulation starts for real, we'll be taken out of here. And so it's almost like it gives them an excuse not to do anything, not to expose or shed light on the truth. We should expose the works of darkness according to the Word of God, according to the Bible, but mostly according to the pre-tribulation rapturists. You know, you're meant to choose what hill you die on. And these people just don't have a clue, do they, about God. If you want to make God laugh some more, why not try and plan your life? You know, that's really hilarious to God. So, none of us can choose which hill we die on. If we are active on duty for the Lord, shining light into the darkness, which can include all kind of nefarious things that Satan is doing on this earth and beyond this earth, I think it shows that person has a contact, if you like, or a relationship with the living God. You know, that person knows the extent of God's creation, the intricacy, the power of God's creation, you know, the powerful beings that God has created. There's no question in a true Christian's mind about all these subjects and issues. And we don't need to sit and watch Star Wars, or we don't need our minds you know, altered by watching things like Star Trek and different other things, which try and get you to believe that these malevolent beings are somehow, you know, your friend. How can they be? Because they've not revealed themselves to humanity in an open way. They're working in secret. You know, the same as the secret societies are, such as the Masons. That it means that they hide truths, and they also invent lies. They invent smokescreens. They invent, you know, versions of truth which are not biblical, in order to hide the true purpose and intent of Satan's kingdom, which they don't call it Satan's kingdom. They'll call it something like Enlil's kingdom or some other name, because all these other books that they read about Enki and different things, that's a philosophy unto itself. There might be some truth in that, but it's not completely biblical. You know, because the enemy does like to change his name and does like to basically change a lot of facts which benefit him and his kingdom. Like, for example, a lot of the occultists believe that, you know, that God is Yahweh, the creator of the universe, is the one who is evil, because he's kept his creation, or kept his human beings, or man and women, from knowledge. But the Bible's very clear. It's knowledge of good and evil. In other words, it's knowledge which sometimes will benefit you, but in the long run it's going to harm. It's going to harm you, just such as like radiation from working on a light ship or a UFO, or whatever you want to call it, all the amount of people that are meant to have died reverse engineering these things is into the thousands. You know, a loaded question such as, what message would you give any extraterrestrials if they came and visited this earth? The truth of the matter is that most of these beings, representative of these beings, are actually here on earth just now, and they have been for, some say, even before Adam and Eve's creation. And they actually see the earth as belonging to them, and they see humanity, or men and women, as simply cattle to herd, simply cattle to use for their own purposes. And this seems to be the actual treaty that President Roosevelt made back before the Second World War, which was very publicized, a meeting with these extraterrestrials, and many people have gone on record saying that they were there, or they knew about it, or whatever. And that's what exactly they're doing. They will hide the purposes why they are here, but they will claim that it is their earth. That's the general feeling that you get if you've ever bumped into one of these things, which I have several times. The feeling from them is that it's their earth, and what right do you have to question them? What right do you have to even talk about them, or whatever? But I come in the name of Yeshua the Messiah, and it's my God Yahweh, Elohim, that gives me any rights that I have in my life, and including freedoms, and including any victories that I get, including anything that God has given us as men and women created in God's image, in order to benefit humanity, what we call humanity. The word humanity, I don't like that word. The term humanity is a made up word. The Bible talks about men created in the image of God, and women who are there to serve their husbands. But that model has obviously been messed with now, and the fact is humanity want to conform more to the image of the beast system. You know, women claiming that they've been enslaved by men, and so on and so on and so on. These women need to be set free by the blood of Jesus Christ. They really need Jesus more than they can ever know or understand, and hopefully through the preaching of the gospel and through exposing, shining that light in the darkness, that indeed some of these people can come to faith, and true faith in the living God. So like and subscribe to this channel, or any other channels that is associated with this one, and these are the videos right here, if you want to check them out. They're relevant to today's topic. Any questions, guys? Want to start a hangout? Invite me to a hangout as well. I'm not sure if I could have the technology yet to do that, but maybe in the future I'll be able to do that, guys. Thanks for watching. The Lord bless you.